warning in effect today across the inland northwest as wind gusts could cause power outages by the afternoon.
Construction season. Drivers who use US 95 to and from Coeur d'Alene will see some delays starting today.
The bridge work we'll be doing around town will be focusing on some of our older bridges. So a lot of that will just be maintenance, fixing what is already there.
More delays and cancellations are expected out of SeaTac Airport this morning, especially if you're flying with Alaska Airlines.
So I think it could be as many as 8 multi-purpose fields.
Out with the old and in with the new. As the demolition continues for the Joe Albi Stadium, it's left many wondering what's next.
Up with KREM begins now.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us here on Up with KREM on this Monday morning. I'm Channing Curtis. Now, we do have several wind advisories across the inland northwest this morning, so we have team coverage on Up with KREM getting you ready for you to start your day. So this morning, KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez is outside taking a live look at the conditions and any wind damage that we should be aware of. But before we get to her, let's head right over to meteorologist Thomas Patrick, who's in the Weather Center, giving us a look at what we can expect this morning. Good morning, Thomas.
Yeah, good morning, Channing. Today's just going to be a big weather day. We're tracking wind, rain, chance for thunderstorms, and mountain snow all at once, all packed in this windstorm that is moving through the Pacific Northwest. So we'll start you with the alerts. These are high wind warnings, and that is what's shaded in gold all across central and eastern Washington, parts of North Idaho as well. Just our northern areas, just in the lesser wind advisory criteria. But wind gusts are expected as strong as 60 miles per hour during the afternoon, which would be considered severe. That is likely going to create some tree damage and power outages later on today. But right now, the wind's just now getting started. 20 mile per hour sustained winds. We've already had 40 mile per hour wind gusts. And of course, some steady rain that's been falling all morning long. Here are the wind gusts that we've already seen today. Again, 39, 40 miles per hour, and we've barely even started. Those winds are going to get a lot stronger, especially once the rain ends. That's right. The rain is actually out in front of our windstorm system. So that's why we're getting the steady rain this morning, basically all the way through eastern Washington, all of North Idaho. And that's going to last for a couple more hours. But once the rain stops, then the winds really start to pick up. So expect way more in the way of wind than rain by the afternoon hours. And again, that could be a little bit on the damaging side with those gusts forecasted as strong as they are. Again, up to 60 miles per hour this afternoon.
All right, let's take a look at how things are outside before you head out the door this morning. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez is outdoors this morning tracking everything as far as wind damage is concerned. Nicole, where are you exactly and what are you seeing out there right now?
Channing, right now I'm up on the South Hill and I gave you a very particular wide shot this morning because I really want you to be able to see everything that's going on out here. Number one, we've got enough rain coming down that we have some standing puddles here. If I splash a little bit, you can see that's a decent puddle here. So if you are driving around this morning, watch out for that standing water on the roads in particular. But like Thomas Patrick mentioned, with that rain, next comes the wind. And let me tell you, that wind is already howling this morning. I'm getting gusts hitting me in the back right now that are swaying me a little bit, so it's definitely something to look out for this morning. I want to give you a look here at cars driving along as well, because we've gotten enough rain now that not only are we seeing standing water, but also some water running along the gutter areas and such, along the roadways. I mean, you can even see the droplets on my camera here. That rain is really coming down, and it's not coming down straight. That wind is also pushing it to the side, so depending on where you're standing, it's either going to be hitting you right in the face or in the back. So definitely not a good situation. If you can avoid being outside this morning, that would be ideal. And of course, like Thomas and Channing mentioned, we will be tracking any damage that we're seeing as of right now. Mostly just that wind kicking up right now, but we'll make sure to keep track of anything happening across our area. If you have a spot that you know of that might cause some troubles, text us 509-448-2000. We'll head that direction.
Well, Alaska Airlines is still dealing with a pilot shortage, so if you're flying through SeaTac this morning, you might want to double check your flight status. This morning, one flight is delayed at the Spokane airport. Now, this all comes as spring break travel ramps up. TSA anticipates the number of travelers to be near pre-pandemic levels. Over the weekend, Alaska Airlines canceled over 70 flights, affecting more than 9,800 passengers. There were also several Alaska flights delayed at the Spokane airport. Now, this as many off off-duty pilots conducted an informational picket along the West Coast. Right now, those pilots are in contract negotiations with the airline. A representative for the pilots say that the picket is not to blame for these cancellations and delays.
Staffing has been a concern and something that we've spoken to them about for many, many months, actually starting in conversations back last year, that this would be inevitable if we didn't have a contract in place that would help us attract and retain pilots.
Alaska said in a statement yesterday that they acknowledged the large number of cancellations and said, quote, "We apologize to all of our guests who we let down," end quote. 5:05 now, time for your morning rush. More news in less time. A man is in serious condition after a drive-by shooting in north central Spokane. Now, this happened on the 900 block of West Maxwell Avenue. The victim told Spokane police officers they'd been lying on a couch inside a home when someone started shooting. Police are asking anyone with information to call Crime Check at the number that's right there on your screen. In Spokane Valley, police have identified the suspect in last week's Red Top Motel shooting. Detectives are searching for Joshua W. Seth, who was wanted for first-degree attempted murder and first-degree assault. Police say he is considered armed and dangerous. Anyone who sees him is asked not to approach him and to call 911. Wow, check this one out. At least 72 Biggs killer whales, also known as transient orcas, were spotted in Washington and southern British Columbia. 10 distinct groups of these whales were reported throughout the Salish Sea, some as far south as the Hood Canal to Vancouver Island. And this is a new single-day record. And that's a look at your morning rush. The South Carolina women are waking up this morning as champions. The Gamecocks faced off against UConn in the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship last night. South Carolina's Destiny Henderson was the star of the night. She hit a career-high 26 points to help lead her team to the national title. South Carolina won 64-49. And Kansas will face off against the University of North Carolina tonight in the men's NCAA championship game. Kansas cruised to an 81-65 win over Villanova in the Final Four, earning their 10th championship appearance. Their opponent, North Carolina, outlasted their big rival Duke 81-77 in their Final Four matchup. The win not only sent UNC to the championship game, but it also became the last game for Duke's retiring Coach K. Kansas will face off against UNC tonight in New Orleans, and you can catch that game at 6:20 on TBS. Our area is growing and changing, and our ongoing Boomtown series is tracking all of that growth. If you haven't driven by Joe Albee Stadium in a while, there's not much left. Demolition work on the stadium continued Friday. The artificial turf has been ripped out from the 72-year-old stadium, and the aluminum bleachers are gone as well. As for the future of the beloved stadium, well, that remains a question.
There's been a concept that we've talked a lot about between school and the Parks Department is could you take that additional field area and add more fields to companion to what the Dwight Merkle facility is. And I think it could be as many as 8 multi-purpose fields.
While the city decides what to do with the old stadium's land, construction is well underway for the new downtown stadium. About 50% of the excavation is done. The Spokane Public School District says they are on track for the new stadium to open in late summer or early fall of 2023. Well, construction starts today on one of several bridges across North Idaho. The first will be the US 95 bridge over Northwest Boulevard in Coeur d'Alene. So KREM 2's Malia Kamal is there live this morning. So Malia, what exactly do drivers need to know before they head out the door this morning?
Good morning, Channing. Now, yes, it's the 2022 construction season is in full swing, and here in Coeur d'Alene, the US 95 bridge will be closed for the next 2 months. Now, road crews will be painting the steel railings and replacing the surface of the US 95 bridge. Now, during the bridge construction, southbound drivers will have access to the left, will not have access to the left turn lane on the bridge or to downtown Coeur d'Alene. Now, this is just one of several projects happening over the summer. The Idaho Transportation Department of Public Information Officer says that drivers should note the upcoming and current projects.
There are lots of changes coming. The bridge work we'll be doing around town will be focusing on some of our older bridges. So a lot of that will just be maintenance, fixing what is already there. When it comes to Highway 41, we're going to be done. You're going to have 4 lanes. When it comes to US 95, you'll have a new center turn lane in Bonners Ferry. We are also starting the first of a series of projects on Highway 53 west of Rathdrum that will also add a center turn lane.
Now, other local bridges that will be repaired during the spring and summer seasons include Potlatch Hill Road, 7th Street over Interstate 90, Interstate 90 over Wolf Lodge Creek, and Greens Ferry Road. Now, drivers can call 511 for updates on these changes. Live in Coeur d'Alene, I'm Leah Kamal, KREM 2 News.
A new federal budget proposal is coming, and President Biden is making some pretty big claims. We verify them coming up.
And the one thing you need to know about today's weather, it is going to be extremely windy today. It's already breezy this morning, but the most violent winds are expected to be at about noon and in the early afternoon hours.
Time now for your wake-up call on this Monday morning. If you missed it last night, the Grammys, man, they were amazing. It's all pretty much anyone is talking about this morning on social media. So this morning, we want to know, what is your favorite song? You can text us at 509-448-2000 or use the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media. And a little bit later in the show, we'll be recapping all of the Grammy highlights. But first, here is a live look outside on this Monday morning. We say good morning to you, Inland Northwest, and happy Monday. It's definitely going to be a bit soggy and definitely very windy outside today, so grab an extra cup of coffee. You just might need it.